Hi. Not today. Sometimes I wear tie-dye under.
Ooh, we got silent. Hello, everyone. Wow, it is such a joy to see a full house and so many students. Thank you all for coming tonight. Before we get started, I just want to announce that we had an executive session, so I recessed the Board of Directors into that executive session at 5 o'clock this evening to review the performance of a public employee. The session ended at 5:50 and no official action was taken. So now I call the Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026 Peninsula School District Board of Directors meeting to order. All board directors are present. Please note that this is a regular scheduled meeting. It is held in public and it is being recorded. Please now stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item 3 on our agenda this evening is to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion prior to the vote? Is there a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by David and seconded by Lori to approve the agenda this evening. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried and the agenda is approved. So our first item on the agenda tonight is to hear from our student representatives who are sitting at this table here. I think, are we going to go in order? Lauren, are you going to start for us this evening? Okay, take it away.
Hello, evening school board members and guests. Lauren here, and here's the news about CTP. The first thing to start off is that on Friday we're going to the planetarium at the Pierce County Tacoma College. The planetarium is a 30-foot and 58-seat building with live shows to show us the planets and solar system. And I'm finally going to go there because I don't have Child Find. Speaking of Child Find, I'm still doing that on Fridays with my assistant Allison. We're always helping the kids and getting ready for any events. We've been partnering with Penmet Parks, participating in 2 events, Social Club and Move to Music. We play basketball, air hockey, pickleball, and walk the track. Thank you, Penmet, for offering these activities for us. For hands-on art, we will support 2 new schools to teach the kids how to make their own crafts. The 2 new schools we will attend are Valghun and Swiftwater Elementary School. Night to Shine will be on Friday, February 13th. CTP students are very excited about attending this event. That's all the news for CTP. Have a fantastic day. Lauren out.
Awesome. Thanks, Lauren.
Hi, my name is Kate, and I am the senior representative from Peninsula. I don't have a lot from our last meeting, but I have a few things to talk about. First, we received some information from our vice president of our band program, and so they wanted me to mention that they have a regional solo ensemble competition this Saturday at Peninsula, and it is Peninsula and Gig Harbor, I believe other schools, I'm not exactly sure how many other schools as well. And they will be performing from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They wanted me to mention that they sent over 30 people to state last year with 1 person placing second. So they are a really award-winning program, and they really want some people to come. They attend all of our events at school, and they really want other students and people from the community to go. So if you're able to, really encourage everyone to attend. Yeah. And then it's also Share the Love event, Love Month, sorry. And our leadership is working on a lot of projects to spread kindness around our school. Today, just like one example, we had a few students during lunch use like a microphone, and they did like shout out compliments to kids just walking by. And that's just one example. I think every few days there's something that groups of kids are planning throughout the month. And then it is also Black History Month, and so our POC is creating an interactive display about African American musicians throughout history. I don't know a lot about it, but I know that there's like QR codes. It's supposed to be really cool, and I'm really excited to see it when they finish it. And then our POC is also working with KPMS, their POC club, to help plan an assembly for their school as well. And that's all I have from Peninsula.
Hey, do you know from the band ensemble if they have a time that either Gig Harbor and or Peninsula will be playing?
I do not. I just have the
The whole day.
I just have, I'm not sure if there's like specific times for each school.
Hi everyone, I'm Kainoa. I'm the junior representative at Peninsula High School, and I cover all the feeder schools, so elementary and middle schools on the Peninsula side. So first I'm going to start with the elementary schools, and then I will go to the middle schools towards the end. So starting with Purdy, they wrapped up their iReady testing and are currently setting goals for the spring for all the students. This month's theme for February is inclusion, and then lastly for Purdy, they're having a school-wide reading event that has been going on since January of the book Wild Robot, and will end with a school-wide reading night right before midwinter break. I believe it's that Friday. Next at Vaughn, students have been participating in electing student council and learning the process of election and how important a democracy is, and just preparing them for the future when they get to vote in a little bit. Each classroom has ideas/concerns box where student council members are going and checking regularly to find problems that students are having and trying to find solutions to solve those problems. And lastly, the Kindness Club is in partnered with their student council, and they're organizing a Kindness Week to where there's a series of school-wide activities that will be going on to just spread kindness around their school and overly just create a positive environment. Next at Minder Creek, since we spoke on the 29th, they had their Streamapalooza Family Fun Night where nearly 100 students and their families joined, which held a bunch of activities, like there was flight simulators and a bunch of stuff like that. That was super special. And lastly, for Mentor Creek, their PTA is planning a fun family dance this evening, or not this evening, next Friday, February 13th, and it will be their first time hosted dance in recent history for them, so that's pretty exciting. And then now into Swiftwater, they had a pizza takeover at Thursday, the 29th of January. And they just want to say thank you for Millville Pizza for supporting them and helping them raise money. They also have their Kindness and Belonging Assembly, and it's a celebration of learning for their reading / CKLA night on Thursday the 12th next week. Now into the middle schools. Harbor Ridge, their girls basketball season is coming to a close, and they're super excited for their pep assembly this Friday, followed by next Thursday they have a winter social going on. And as everyone knows, in high school, registration is coming on the way. Well, not the seniors, but registration. So they've been taking trips down to elementary schools to help with the show all the opportunities they offer at Harbor Ridge, and also the 8th graders coming into high school next year. On to KPMS, their girls basketball season is in the final 2 weeks, and they've showed amazing sportsmanship and grit, and they led their team to the first win in almost 10 years, and that's just a super amazing accomplishment. And the boys basketball season and girls soccer is starting up right around the corner right after midwinter break. And lastly, their midwinter social is coming up on February 12th, and their ASB is running a Valen Pops fundraiser all week long next week. Oh, one more thing. Also, they will be in collaboration with Peninsula for the People of Color clubs will be meeting at KPMS. They're holding on the February 25th, they'll be holding an assembly for Black History Month to show all of African American heritage and stuff like that, and just spread inclusivity and stuff. So that's really cool.
And then hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the senior rep from Gig Harbor High School, and kind of similar to Peninsula, we don't have a whole lot going on right now, but as of Monday, we are officially in our second semester, so we're really encouraging all of our students to kind of get back to their classes and get back to being at school. And then this month is also our CTE month. So at Gig Harbor High School, we're going to have different career professionals kind of visiting throughout the month. Today we had Virginia Mason come to the school, and then later this week we're going to have the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, and then ending the week with an opportunity for our students to learn about a career in real estate, which will be super exciting. And then coming up with that, we have a lot of wonderful presentations from our Gig Harbor clubs later this evening. But as we're in a new semester, we did also want to encourage all of our students and just people in our community to really show up and support those different clubs and activities around our school. Our winter sports are also already approaching the ends of their seasons, and our spring sports are going to be starting later this month or in early March. For our boys basketball, they just won against CK yesterday, and they're going to have an away game coming up tomorrow against Mount Tahoma. That team is also having a fundraiser at Montezuma's tomorrow, so if you can, please go and support them by getting either dine-in or carry-out and just telling them there that you are there to support the Gig Harbor High School boys basketball team. Our boys swim and dive team also, we want to give them a huge congratulations. They just won their league championships this past weekend, and then coming up this Friday and Saturday, they're also going to be headed to the district championships. Girls basketball also just won their game last night, which was also their senior night, and they have a home game coming up tomorrow against Mount Homa at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm the junior rep for Gig Harbor High School. For our wrestling at the 2026 Viking Invitational, Mina Maya took fourth, and Eleanor Nimrick took first at the competition. Also, a huge congrats to Eleanor for securing her 100th career pin. So, good job, Eleanor. And then H2O, our H2O team took home in Palm and at competition at the Black Hills High School at the end of the semester. We're getting ready to cheer them on as they have their next competition at Eastlake on February 7th. For the feeder school reports, for Goodman Middle School, there's an abundance of clubs that are taking off at Goodman. A lot. They have Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, Interact, Found Club, Robotics, TSA, and Drama Club all starting up at the same time. And then the drama production this year at Goodman is The Little Mermaid. Students and mentors have been working hard to make this production come to life, and the show will be on March 20th at 2:30 and 6 p.m. So make your choice. And then none of these clubs or activities will be possible without the incredible staff who have stepped up to facilitate, lead, and coach. So they would like to give a huge shout out to the Goodman staff for that. And then they've just completed their winter iReady testing, and there's a lot of growth to celebrate. Students are taking responsibility for their learning and showing up each day. And then lastly, they finished a January reading challenge where students who participated will get to celebrate with a pizza and cocoa party in the coming weeks. So that's a great way to get middle schoolers to read. Put food on the line. Discovery Elementary, one of the highlights is definitely their Lego robotics team that made it to regionals and their upcoming read and lead that coincides with the art of reading. And lastly, they're looking for celebrity readers for their podcast. I don't know what celebrity means, but they are looking for celebrity readers. And then lastly, for Kopechuk Middle School, they're in the midst of a girl basketball season, and both the varsity and JV teams are making great growth. It's been amazing to watch the growth for both those teams. And then lastly, for Kopechuk Middle School, they have had a great band and choir concerts that have shown great growth as well in both their band students. So, yeah.
You have questions for students?
Yeah, just a quick question for Gig Harbor. What do those career visits look like? Like, were the Virginia Mason people just set up in the commons during lunch, or what's the format?
Yeah, so right now they've been coming to the auditorium at the high school, and they'll be giving like presentations there, and the students are free to be like, whenever we have presentations, whether it's from colleges or different careers, they're free to go to the auditorium like during the school hours and just be able to go sit in on that. So it's nice because it's not like dependent on whether if you have first lunch or if you're in one of those CTE classes. It's really open to all of our students. Mm-hmm.
Questions? Caitlin, welcome to your final semester of your K-12 experience. I hope you enjoy every minute of it. All right, so if that's no questions from the students, we will move on. Thank you for that report. You guys have a ton going on, it sounds like. Item 5 is public comments this evening, and as you know, last month I notified everyone that we were going to be piloting a new way of doing public comment, is by allowing all public comments at the beginning of our meeting rather than separating them into action items and then just general comments. So the format will be the same. I will call you to the board or to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to address the board, and if you run out of time, always you can just present your comments to us by email. So we have 2 speakers this evening. First, I will call up Chris Doherty.
Hi, good evening. My name is Chris Doherty, and I'm the parent of 2 students in PSD. I'm happy to see that public comments have moved back earlier in the meetings because my sons have a Jazz District night concert at PHS that I have to get to. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about what it means to be inclusive or discriminatory. If you look up the word inclusive, according to Merriam-Webster, it is defined as 1, broad in orientation or scope, 2, including everyone, 3, of or relating to education in which students with disabilities are included with the general student population. Being inclusive means not allowing clubs or organizations in public schools whose core beliefs are anti-LGBTQ. Inclusion means everyone, not a selective version shaped by one's personal bias or religious beliefs. It is also not discriminatory to prohibit groups that actively discriminate against students. Claiming otherwise reflects a misunderstanding of inclusion and discrimination and falls squarely into the paradox of tolerance. Is district admin aware that a substitute was asking staff members of color where they were from and whether they were U.S. citizens? There is also concern regarding a kindergarten teacher who had Christian religious books in her classroom, allowed the books to be taken home, and used the district's Parent Square platform to promote church events to their students and families. Both of these issues are very concerning and do not promote an inclusive or secular learning environment. The board of directors are voted into this office by this community. It is a role that one is taking on to hear criticisms, concerns, praises, frustrations from students, staff, or community members. And I did want to comment on a board director's question at the December meeting where they asked if we could all commit to working together. The community wants and has asked for collaboration. However, when the district's actions continue to demonstrate they are not doing what's best for our kids, such as allowing events on our campuses that are discriminatory against our trans students, allowing a Christian nationalist group into our schools where we are already seeing a line blurred, if educators feel they can now include religion in publicly funded schools, inequities that currently exist for art and STEM programs, facilities upkeep at Gig Harbor schools versus those out on the KP, or our BIPOC and LGBTQ students and staff being harassed and targeted, then the community and myself will continue to speak up. And despite these issues in the district, I will be voting yes on the levy renewal, and I encourage everyone else to do so as well, because I believe and support public education as it is the great equalizer regardless of one's gender, race, religious, or socioeconomic status. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Jackie Pinkerton.
Hello, Jackie Pinkerton. I was gonna wing it, but I get distracted and ramble, and I'm gonna do that for a couple seconds anyway. So I'm gonna read, because I rambled in my text app. So shout out to our students and future leaders for exercising their rights to protest over the weekend. I wanted to say that I'm very impressed by those who chose to participate on Friday when they weren't in school and could have been doing other fun activities. And I'm very proud of those who chose to make the difficult decision to walk out on Monday. Thank you to the district for not locking the doors and chaining them to their desks and letting them participate in that right to protest. It's been really unsettling over the last couple days to see the amount of vitriol online directed at our students for exercising this right. It demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of the school's role in limiting these activities. And while there's not enough time to discuss it tonight, I hope that in future study sessions we can talk about how to educate the community on your guys' roles so that we can have productive conversations about what's best for our kids and how to accomplish that, all within our lanes and within the roles that we all hold in the community. Tonight, I'm asking the district, whosever role it is to do so, to provide clear guidance to staff and a message to our students and families about what we're doing to support our community with regards to immigration enforcement. This seems like especially important given the relevant moment we're in. It's also my understanding that there was a state mandate in 2019 for districts to adopt policies to address immigration enforcement on school property. I wasn't able to find anything. I'm happy to be informed or redirected to those materials if they're available. I did print a copy of the Seattle Public School and Kitsap South Kitsap district policies for your reference if that would be helpful in implementing a written policy to address this topic. I'd also like to share that while I was initially motivated to speak about this topic generally, in the last couple days I've heard from Peninsula School District, high school and elementary teaching and support staff that they don't feel supported as it relates to the immigration enforcement topic, a lack of clear and direct message from the district on such a clear issue facing our community is causing both psychological and physical fear in our students and families. Again, seeing the behavior and the vitriol online from a lot of people who are not informed on this topic. Some of our staff are still afraid to speak publicly on the matter and are afraid to ask for help because it's a scary world out there. Social media is not real life. We've all seen some of the dangerous rhetoric that has been spread that has caused, fear for physical harm. And so I'm here to speak on behalf of them to say that this is an important topic. It should be a priority. And I hope that you will take this very seriously and provide something concrete, clear, and direct to this very real issue that's coming into our community. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. That concludes public comment for the evening. And item 6 on our agenda is our reports and presentations. So I'd like to call Kelsey Park and Ashley Stolhand up, our CTE directors, to share with us updates with our career and technical education.
I have a timer set, so. Ready? Remember, it was 2 separate timers. Okay, great. Thank you, Board of Directors and Superintendent Barr, for having us here tonight. My name is Kelsey Park. I also want to thank all of you students for being here. You are the reason why Ashley and I do our job. So thank you for showing your leadership and coming and giving up your time. And I also want to shout out all of your parents. Like, thank you to them for supporting you in figuring out what your dreams are. And our teachers who gave up their night and who give up their time also to just invest in your education. So thank you, everybody, for having us. We are really excited to talk about CTE and what we're doing, and I'm going to also introduce Ashley Stolhand, who is my assistant director.
Thank you. So tonight's layout is we wanted to talk a little bit about what CTE encompasses and then hand things over to student leaders to talk about what they do in CTSOs, and then we will come back to a little bit of data very quickly at the end. So just 3 quick bullet points. When we talk about CTE, we say that 1, CTE is career technical education. 2, it's the intersection of what you like and what you're good at, and that it's career readiness. And those are the core tenets when we think about preparing students for the workforce and being that bridge from what you're learning in class to where you're going and how you're going to impact society in the future.
We know that CTE is directly embedded into the strategic plan, and we want to thank the board for developing that strategic plan and also look forward to seeing how CTE continues to be embedded as we move forward into bringing forward a new cycle of what our growth looks like. We really pride ourselves in falling underneath the academic excellence. We know that 54% of our students utilize the CTE graduation pathway to ensure that they are career and college ready when they leave our programs. We thrive on innovation. We try and think outside of the box and foster what the kids are dreaming of. We have a fiscal responsibility. CTE is one of the programs that are funded with enhanced funding through the state. So we want to make sure that we manage that with fidelity and authenticity to what kids want and need. We like to foster a really strong learning environment that gives hands-on learning, but also is directly related to the industry. And that community engagement from our industry partners is really essential in ensuring that we continue to do that as we foster our teachers in that growth process, as well as our students in their learning. You have a handout that kind of shows a shift in our pathways. Last year you saw we had 6 program areas. This year we are at 11 program areas. We're redefining what the pathways are in relation to the national career clusters so that students, when they're looking at what they want to be or what they want to do in their post-secondary planning, have an idea of what courses more clearly align to those pathways to help guide their processing and guide their interest. On here, we also included West Sound Tech. We have about 50 students who are attending West Sound Tech. It's a small number of students, but what we're really excited about is the access to those programs that they have. We transport students there, and providing that even for a small number of students gives them access to the things that they're interested in that we may not be able to offer here.
What was the number you said at West Side?
50 students. 50. We also broke it down by program area on there so that you guys can see that. Gotcha. So why does it matter? Why does all that we do for CTE matter? Kids. We are in this for the kids, and so we wanted to make sure that we gave time to give their voices the stage. So at this time, we want to invite all of you up. You know your order, I think, yes. Come on up, and at the end, we want to invite the board to take a picture with all of our student leaders so that we really can celebrate the great accomplishments that you guys have.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Emerson Morris, and I'm the president of Art Club at Gig Harbor High School. Miss Allen is our advisor. Shout out to Miss Allen. She's such an amazing teacher. She is full of so much creativity and kindness, and I truly love her so much. Some projects we've done so far are we did a service project at Pioneer Elementary where we went to the elementary school and did Christmas crafts with the kids before winter break. And we did a pop-up shop fundraiser for our club in the teacher's lounge where we sold coasters and little glass trays and keychains before winter break, I think it was. So that was a lot of fun. And we also did an art abandonment project downtown where we hid little keychains uptown Gig Harbor and downtown with little tags on them telling people about our club and kind of just promoting us. And upcoming projects we have are, what are we doing? Oh, yes, we are doing the Youth Art Month, yes. And we also have an upcoming Kids Craft Night event that we're thinking of doing either this month or next month where we invite kids to come to our school and do crafts with us while parents can go out and get a break from their kids for the night.
Oh, so it's going to be an evening event?
Yes.
Like a babysit, like a, oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you have info on when that is?
I don't think so.
Not yet, but you're going to. Oh, gotcha. Okay. That sounds like an outstanding, and sometime in March. Okay, so we'll make sure to help promote that.
I'll take 2 spots.
Am I good?
Okay, fun. That sounds great. Good job. Good job, Emerson.
Ready? Hello, we are here to represent the ASL Club. My name is Natalie, and I'm the president of PHS's ASL Club, and this is Polina, and she's for Gig Harbor High School.
So at ASL Honor Society, we offer students the ability to learn about American Sign Language while also advocating for the awareness of the deaf community.
Some things we've done so far that I personally am very proud of is that we've helped out at multiple deaf events. One of the main ones being Signing Santa, which I forgot which high school we went to, but we went and we basically helped around, and we had some members of our clubs and our classes interpret songs for some of the visitors there. And along with that, we have also had fundraisers to donate to different deaf organizations. Or I think it was one major, yeah.
Our group offers students the opportunity to participate in ASL-based literature, art, and team-based competitions at state and national levels, as well as awards, scholarships at graduation, and an opportunity for a path toward ASL-based careers such as interpreting, deaf studies, and a lot more.
In the future, we plan to continue our goals to raise awareness of the deaf community, as well as volunteer at more events. We are also hoping to collaborate with local deaf or hard of hearing individuals and continue donating to deaf organizations.
As it's currently my 3rd year as a continuous officer at ASL Club, this club has very much taught me more about the deaf community as someone who did not know about it prior to high school. And with the help of my ASL teacher at my school, Mrs. Brittany Thomas, who is unfortunately not here because she is ill, she has taught me a lot about what it means to be an officer, as well as what it means to advocate for a community that's not talked about as much as the deaf community.
This is my first year as an officer on the ASL Club community, and I have refounded it as of this year. And I feel this year has been full of a lot of growth, especially learning about the deaf community and just sign language overall. And I have Miss Rosalinda Clifford to thank for that, so thank you. And I feel like I've known more than I have in past years, or at least have grown more.
How many students are in the ASL Club?
In PHS's ASL Club, I believe our peak was around 19 students.
19?
At Gig Harbor, it's very stagnant, but at maximum, we usually have around 12 to 10 members at regular meetings.
Okay.
And are you all taking ASL as a class as well? This is just to enhance your skills and time together?
Mm-hmm. I'm in ASL 2 actively.
Okay.
And then I am currently in ASL 3 in addition to the club.
Outstanding. All right, thank you. Well done.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Field, and I'd like to take the opportunity to express my gratitude towards the Aviation Academy, primarily because it supported my ambition towards becoming a pilot through digestible curriculum, which can be hard learning aviation because it can be all scattered throughout, but also through an amazing role model and instructor, Mr. Williamson, he's been so supportive with allowing me to learn this curriculum and just chase that ambition and that goal of becoming a pilot.
My name is Lily McElwain. I'm from Peninsula, and I think aside from the aviation knowledge that we get from the class, Mr. Williamson has put a very deep emphasis on presentations and presenting such as like this. And before I joined the class, I was very scared I would avoid school because I hated presenting. But now we do it. It's like a second nature to us all, I think.
Hello, my name is Isaiah, and mine's going to be, I think what I appreciate most about this aviation academy that I'm attending is just how competent and genuine this class has been. Every time I come in, everyone wants to be there. They want to learn. The teacher is very enthusiastic about his job. I do not think I've been in a classroom that is that happy to even be learning in the first place.
Can I ask are all of you hoping to become a pilot, or are there other career fields that are interesting to you?
Yes, ma'am, a pilot.
Pilot as well.
I intend to be a pilot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, good job.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Bruin Bear. I'm a senior at Gig Harbor High School, and I am the president of our Gig Harbor High School DECA chapter.
And hi, my name is Luke. I'm also a senior at Gig Harbor High School's DECA, and I'm just a member.
So a little bit about the DECA club here at Gig Harbor High School. We are a club that explores and kind of learns about business and marketing careers. A lot of our, if not all of our members all intend on pursuing business in the next steps after high school. We are actually in the meat out of our club right now. We are just finished up our area competition up in the Puyallup Fairgrounds, and we have sent 21 state qualifiers to the state competition, which is in a few weeks. We are super excited about this and just really have high hopes about where the club's headed so far. I'd like to, on behalf of everyone in the DECA club, just express our gratitude to Mr. Davis and all the support we've had through the board of directors and everyone. We've grown this club to like 5 to 6 times how big it was my freshman year. So we're really just happy to be supported and have enjoyed our time in this club throughout our high school careers.
Yeah, and going off of that club growth and just community, we've grown our community a ton, and it's been a ton of fun seeing all the work that goes into making the competitions possible, and just all the background work that goes in from our officers, from our teacher, from Mr. Davis, and just to make competitions possible, make us give us opportunities to succeed. It's been really great.
Can you give us a quick example of what a DECA competition looks like?
Sure. Okay. So within DECA, we have a bunch of different topics that people can choose. For example, mine is business law and ethics. So the way it works is I have a teammate. We go in. We are given a case study in 30 minutes. We have to read this case study, come up with a solution. For us, it's usually an ethical issue, something about law, international stuff. We come up with an issue. We present that to the judges in a role play for 15 minutes, and that is graded and then part of, like, I guess, our score to carry on to the next competition. Also within DECA, we have testing before every competition that studies or looks at our understanding and comprehension of basic business theories, business standards, ways to run a company, and just overall marketing kind of techniques.
Cool. I spent some time with kids from Vashon Island School District last week, and the one thing they had to say about Gig Harbor was the DECA team and speech and debate team are just absolutely untouchable. So you have built quite a reputation. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. No one for PHS DECA. All right.
No. That's why she's not coming up. I might ask.
Wrong slide as well.
What slide are we looking for?
FCCLA.
Wow.
Oh, there, I see the logo. Tell us what FCCLA is.
Okay, hi, my name is Columbia, and I am the president of this club.
Hi, my name is Kimberlyn, and I'm the vice president of this club.
Hi, my name is Coral, and I'm this club.
Okay, so FCCLA, we have made this a cooking club, and I helped our amazing teacher, Miss Dom, jumpstart this club as well. For me, one of my goals has always been to become a pastry chef and have my own little bakery. And I've never really found many like clubs or anything for culinary. So I started talking with my teacher, Miss Dom, the cooking teacher at Peninsula High School, and she helped me jumpstart this club for cooking and baking. And we are a very new club, so we are getting more members in right now. But it's such like a great environment. Like if you just want to come hang out, like bake, and we have multiple events that we've been baking for, which I will let them explain.
So yeah, like she said, we've cooked and baked for many different events. One of the recent events we did was for our teacher, Miss Dom's. Her mom's at like a memory care facility, so we made like just like little like reef treats for her and like all of the people, and she like sent us a picture and whatever, and how her mom loved it. And then today we actually made cake pops for like a staff meeting and stuff, and we've just and then like another event, like we didn't cook anything, but like we made a wreath for our like big like school-wide like craft fair called Winterfest, and so it was just like to like we raised a bunch of money to like have a wreath to like represent our club.
Yeah. Also, I am a exchange student from Spain, and that's actually the only club in it, because that club helped me like have a lot of friends, because actually all the people listening here, we are cooking together without phones, without anything, so you do like a lot of friends, only like talking and baking and making cookies we made the other day, and later eating the cookies. So
of course.
So it's so fun, and also you learn skills, because later you're gonna need to cook for your children or your whatever, and it's so important, and also you make a lot of friends and a lot of fun.
Wow. I am so glad that you are here, first of all, and that you're joining in clubs and making friends. Are you, can I just ask if you brought anything from Spain that you were cooking? Are you sharing recipes? Or
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
No. I mean, the Spain one, they're like difficult to do and a lot of steps, so no.
So do you take orders? So what if we had the need to like have 5 dozen cookies? Would you be able to do that?
5 dozen?
Is that a lot?
I mean, we could get it done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll talk later.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I do have one more question though. So what does FCCLA stand for? What is that acronym? Do we know?
Right behind you.
Yeah, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
Okay, but yours is specifically around cooking and baking,
Yes.
and I'm just wondering, I know we have a lot of, what is it called, like cottage licenses, where we have people who bake out of their own homes. Are you
Yeah.
connecting with any of the local artisans?
As for right now, I am not. I mean, I have my food handler's card and everything, and I would love to do that sometime,
Okay.
because me and my mom are very like avid bakers and stuff, and we would just love to do that, but
I
in
think
the
there are
works.
plenty of people in this community who would love to come in and talk to you about how to do that, maybe share some skills. So if that's something you're interested in, number one, I want to come and just check it out and sample some of that, and then see how we can help support. That's
You
a
get
lot of fun.
broad board support.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
job, ladies.
Hi, we're from Gig Harbor High School's Environmental Club Gecko. I'm Olivia, the president. This is Anna, the vice president, and Eleanor, our chairperson. If you didn't know, Gecko stands for Gig Harbor Environmental Community Outreach, and we're supported by our favorite teacher, Miss Berkey. She really she inspired Anna and I to join our freshman year, and then Eleanor signed up for classes just to have her. We really do adore her and everything she does for us. We've had a pretty successful year. We do around 2 campus cleanups a month, and we also did a beach cleanup at Owen Beach in Tacoma. We've been maintaining our recycling system in the hallways, and so we've been trying to improve it a little and also just keep it a little cleaner. And so also this past November, we attended the Yes Summit Climate Summit through Pierce County, where they helped us learn a little bit more about leadership and environmental sustainability. And also this past winter, we did Tides Fest, and we made a lot of money, fortunately, through that, which we plan to put back into the school to help improve our club and improve like the cleanliness of our school. So thank you for listening today.
Thank you.
I have a question for you as well. As I know, our parents, we have a group called Parent District Council. It's parent representatives from all the schools, and they're always curious if there are things that they can do to help maybe work on the outside of a school. So I know you guys said that you do school cleanups.
Mhm.
Do you see an opportunity maybe to expand and work with other schools or engage parent groups that maybe want to help you on that?
I definitely feel like we could use the help.
Okay.
Even though our club has like a lot of people helping in it, but the campus does get pretty filthy, and so having more help would be fabulous. So I think that would be a great connection
Okay,
that we could
great.
make.
I'll make sure that the PDC gets your information, because I know that there's probably some groups that would like to start this at other schools too and follow your example. So
Thank you.
That's outstanding work.
Does your work in Gecko help you with your community service
Yes.
varsity letter?
So I have gotten a varsity letter the past 3 years, and I know so has Anna, and I think Eleanor's working towards one. So it definitely does. We get an hour each week for campus cleanups, and then the Owen Beach cleanup was quite a few hours. And so it does help. We count it as community service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Hutchison, and I am the president of HOSA here at PHS. For those of you who don't know what HOSA is, it's a club for future health professionals looking to go into all kinds of fields. Here's 2 main things us as a club are proud to be a part of. So to start, one of our members, Grail Guardino, has been working hard, earning her way through regionals with a research poster on the relationship between social media and mental health among students here at PHS. We are so proud of her, wish her luck in round 2 at our spring conference. And last but not least, HOSA's blood drive. Just by hosting 1 blood drive at Peninsula, 38 successful units were donated by staff and students. That equates to 114 lives saved. Thank you to our wonderful teachers, Miss Murphy and Mr. Smith, for making it possible.
And my name is Luke Orr. I was president of HOSA this year at Gig Harbor High School, and similarly, we've also had a blood drive at our school, and it also went really well. I don't have the exact numbers, but it was very well. We had tons of teachers and students and people from the community coming in to help as well, so that was great. We've also been preparing for our state competition, which is in March, coming up pretty soon. So we've been preparing for our tests, our posters like that, which is great, and just working on fundraisers, preparing for state, helping everything to go well. And we've had opportunities to talk with professionals across various medical fields and just come into our meetings and just ask them questions. And it's been a really great opportunity. I'm grateful for my advisor, Ms. Bookman. She couldn't be here today, but she's helped us a ton, and we're really grateful for that.
Sorry, I'm going to have questions for everybody, but HOSA, then I'm guessing, are your competitions kind of like what the research project you mentioned was? You come up with an issue and research it and present it, or what does a competition look like?
Yeah, so for SLC, that's our Spring Leadership Conference, there's a wide range of different fields that you can do different tests for. You can do performing in front of judges at SLC. Like there's all sorts of different kinds of things you can do. So not just posters.
Okay. And are you both pursuing careers in the medical field?
Yes, I want to be a travel nurse.
Okay.
I'd like to be a doctor. Not sure exactly what kind yet, but.
Got it. Great. Sounds like a great club for you. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cadet Lieutenant Commander Isabella Vitorino. I'm with the Tide Hawk Company and JRTC program here in the Peninsula School District. We have 5 programs that emphasize physical strength, cybersecurity, aerospace technologies, and future military skills. Out of these programs, almost all of them placed first in the region, which is Washington, Oregon, Hawaii, and Utah, and almost all of our programs are nationally ranked, despite us only being 5 years old. None of this would be possible without our instructors, CMC Stockton and Lieutenant Zamora. They've been super influential. I couldn't name another teacher that comes to school at 6 a.m. and doesn't leave till 6 p.m. They're always here. They're amazing mentors. I don't know where I would be in my own personal military career without them. This year we had 39 NS1s, which is what we call our first years in our program. And watching them fall in love with something, be passionate about something, as a senior, I see myself in them. And being able to mentor them and guide them through these passions that they have has truly been an amazing part towards what I will take towards my future military career and being a leader. It's an amazing program. I personally love it. We have a lot of students that do love it. Right now we have about 140 cadets, I want to say. So it's definitely been amazing. We're continuing to grow, and it's great seeing where our cadets go after they graduate.
Right.
So if you get to 150, you get a third instructor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What service you going to?
I have enlisted in the Army, sir, as a combat medic.
Okay.
Congratulations. Wow. And for each of these areas, is there a season or is it just year round? How do you?
A lot of the competitions are year round. So our marksmanship team, they learn about gun safety and they go and they shoot postals. They recently just completed regionals. They got 4th place. They went to Alaska. So their season's over. However, we find back word either today or tomorrow whether we qualified for Navy Nationals in Pensacola, Florida.
Got it. And you did last year, but that was kind of shut off, right?
Yes, ma'am. Due to the government shutdown, it was online, so we didn't get the joy of going to the beach and all that, but we still got to participate.
Okay. Well, I hope you make it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great job. Thank you.
Does anybody have a stool or something? Oh, thanks. Hello, my name is Callum West. I'm the Vice President of TSA at Goodman Middle School. A few things I like about TSA are the many challenges and events that I get to compete in and go to state and maybe even nationals.
Can you tell us what TSA stands for?
Technology Student Association. We have a few. There's things like drones. We have some other kinds of robotics, coding, game design, or video game design, and a few other things I can't remember right now.
And what is your favorite?
I'm currently doing drones and coding.
Have you seen the performance drone team that we have in the Peninsula School District?
No, I don't think so.
You're going to have to check that out. We'll make sure you get the information and when the next show is. But we do have a performance drone team. It's brand new, so I think it'll be something that you're really interested in learning.
Can I ask you about the, hi.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry,
I know,
I get confused
the voice is coming from above. So were you part of the competition, the national competition in Nashville?
I went to it, but I'm just joined a middle school this year. So this is my first year actually competing, but I have been and seen all the stuff at nationals.
So can you tell us just a little bit about it?
Yeah, it really depends on what events you're doing. In coding, I'm pretty sure you get a set amount of time to find out like what's wrong with the code, and do stuff to fix it. And in drones, which I'm pretty sure is like new to this year, there's an obstacle course where there is a team of 2 people. One who is a spotter and another one flying the drone.
That's wonderful. Well, best of luck. Maybe this summer.
Do you get to do Lego Mindstorms as well?
we have a few people doing it. I don't know though. And do you see the two people holding up the trophy in that picture?
Yeah.
That's our school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you.
At least I think that's the coding competition one. But I can't really see from here.
Hello, we are the high school counterpart to Goodman Middle School. So I'm Ava, I'm the secretary, and then this is Mia, she is the president. And we are for the Gig Harbor High School STEAM Club, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. And we also compete through the Technology Student Association. And last year we were super proud. We were able to take a team of 8 to state, and all 8 of us were able to take home a top 3 placement from state, and all 8 of us were able to go to the national competition.
In terms of why STEAM Club is so important and what it's done for us, it really goes to the heart of CTE in terms of future career preparedness. We have so many different events and things you can get interested in that it shows you a lot of different STEAM careers. For example, my future career in forensic science, I only know about it because I've been competing through TSA for the past 5 years in forensic science and other events. So it's really good at preparing you for the future, both in terms of specific career stuff and a lot of soft skills from the events. For example, we do presentations, interviews. You have to make a detailed portfolio through the year of your work process, so it encourages a lot of organization. And overall, it's a really, really meaningful organization with a lot to offer, and I wish more people knew about it and just what we do in our club. Also, shout out to all of our advisors, Mr. Martin, sometimes Miss Allen, and Miss Stevens.
Did both of y'all participate in CAPE when you were in middle school? Did CAPE influence you at all?
I unfortunately was at COVID, had the middle school, but I was able to go back and volunteer at a guide, and I went there several years, and it was super cool. I want to be a civil engineer, so I talked a lot to the Patriot Company, and I was able to sit in. So they didn't fully influence me to join this just because of the timing, but I think it's a super great event, and I hope all the people come join STEAM Club.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Outstanding. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carson, and I am here on behalf of the PHS, TSA, and Film Club. Our club submits video production and software design projects to compete at the WTSA State Conference each year. This year and this past year, our club has competed at the state conference in Spokane for digital video production and on-demand video. Our club also hosts an annual film festival at Galaxy Theaters showcasing student-made short films. Our club is an amazing opportunity for students to showcase their creativity from acting to directing and producing their own films. We would also like to thank our advisor, Mr. Mick, for inspiring and supporting us.
I know last year when you guys came, it was the first time we had heard about the film festival. Did we already miss that again this year?
No, it is, I believe it is, it's right there, March 4th.
March 4th.
At Galaxy at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. I'm just writing that down. Okay, and then question about the acting in the films. Do you collaborate with maybe the drama clubs? I know there's a difference between like stage acting and film acting, but how do you connect with other clubs in your school?
Yeah, so this year we actually did host an open audition, so we do have a few actors from the drama club in our film this year.
Great.
So, yeah.
Okay, outstanding. And then will you share out somehow, how will we get information about the March 4th event? So that
Okay, so we have a Instagram account, we have
Okay.
social media, we also have a TikTok account, but there is on there is a QR code and a link to tickets.
Okay.
I believe they are $6.
Okay.
So.
All right, we'll look for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kaylee Phillips, and I am a Gig Harbor High School senior, and I am here to represent WCTSMA, or, more commonly known as Sports Medicine Club, and I am representing them as their club president this year. Something that we are proud of is our partnership with NASM, which allows high school students to obtain a personal training certification while still in high school. Additionally, as a club, we participate in Tides Fest, leadership conferences, and an annual statewide competition. This year it will be the last weekend of spring break and will take place in Tacoma. Through this club, students gain hands-on experiences with injury and rehabilitation processes through our many shadowing opportunities. I personally had the opportunity to shadow our athletic trainer at Gig Harbor High School, Megan Smart, and it prepares them for a future in health, fitness, or other medical-related careers.
So this is club only. Is there a class related to this?
Yeah, so currently we have 2 classes at Gig Harbor. We have our personal training class, and then we have the general sports med class. I believe it's the personal training class that counts as a PE credit because you are partially in the weight room and you're building a workout plan to rehabilitate an athlete.
Okay.
I personally took both and I really enjoyed it, and I think that for students wanting to pursue sports medicine, it's a great class.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you said you're a senior?
Yes, yeah.
So you have plans for next year? Is this something that you're going to pursue?
So through club, in the statewide competition, I compete in the first aid CPR.
Okay.
And so a career in that would be great.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
Great
so
job.
much.
Yep. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Henry Glore from Peninsula High School. I am the dramaturg of our theater department.
My name is Mackenzie McGee. I am the public relations manager. We are both seniors who have been involved in the program all 4 years of high school.
Just last January, or last month, a year ago, no. Well, yes, a year ago. But last month we competed at the state Thespies South regional competition in Olympia High School, where tons of kids from our CTSO, what they do is they get into different groups, whether it be stage management or scenic design or duets, musical, duo acting scenes, monologues, solo songs, you name it. Basically, everybody works on these projects individually with oversight from our director, Kanae Gray, who, shout out to her, taking on a 100-plus kid program this year is not an easy job, and she's done outstanding job with it. But it's a really great opportunity for kids to get into different groups and try different things that they might not normally get to do just at school within our curriculum. So it's a really great opportunity for kids to get some professional feedback and try something different.
This year we had 9 superior scoring national qualifying entries, 10 students total, and 10 excellent scoring state honoree entries, which was about 16 students total. We're looking forward to going to state at the Seattle Convention Center in March. And those of us who are able to attend are very excited for nationals in Bloomington, Indiana in June. Just about a month after our spring production of Legally Blonde the musical.
Oh, yay.
We're very excited. Auditions are starting, I believe, on Monday. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. We open May 1st and we run the first 2 weekends of May.
Wow.
I know
So this is, oh, sorry.
I know Central Washington University has a really good theater arts program. Do any of the folks in the Peninsula School District pursue CW, or do y'all look outside the state or across the nation for where y'all look to go next?
We look everywhere. I know several students who are planning on committing to CWU for multiple different majors, a lot of music majors. I myself am pursuing a degree in theater performance or songwriting at either Berklee College of Music in Boston or Chapman in California.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So the competitions, monologue, and all of the categories you have up here, do you write and perform those, or are you taking pieces from something?
They have a list of approved plays and musicals that we can choose from. There are script and playwriting categories, but I do not believe that we had any
No, we have yet
entries.
to enter into one of those, but we're hoping next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Outstanding. I can't wait for Legally Blonde. I'll be there for sure.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Long, and we are from the Gig Harbor High School Drama Club, and we would like to talk about our thespians.
We also participated at Regional Thespies. We took about 50 students to compete.
No, we took 50 students in total. We had about 39 who actually competed in multiple events. And this was at Olympia in Capitol High School, which was really, really cool. It was a great day.
Yes, and these students had the option to compete in either tech, acting, and musical theater categories with up to 3 entries. So we had up to 53 entries among the 43 who competed, with 40 of them advancing to state.
And also, for months up until the actual regional competition, all the students collaborated together with each other and our director, Mrs. Weniger, hello, to like put together all their pieces and like polish it out and just make it as best as possible to get the best scores and stuff.
After competing, we received our scores, and 12 of our students had achieved a superior score, with 2 receiving a perfect score, Reed and I.
Wow.
And we now qualify to go to ITF, which, as Peninsula explained, is the International Thespians Festival. And we can compete again in Bloomington, Indiana, to qualify for a thespian title.
That's outstanding. Upcoming shows this year?
Oh, yes, our upcoming show is Into the Woods, and we have our auditions next week.
Great. Oh, great. Well, this is a little different than drama class. I'm assuming you guys are all in that as well. So this is just another way that you spend even more time kind of honing your craft and spending time together and developing all those skills. Yeah, that's outstanding. I have, the last one that I saw, I think, from you was it the play where everything goes wrong? What's the title?
The Play That Goes Wrong.
The Play That Goes Wrong. I laughed out loud, actually, throughout most of it. It's so well. You guys are all of you, so talented. So really well done. All right, great job. Thank you.
All right, we want to give you guys an opportunity to take a picture with all the kids. So
Yes,
everybody,
please.
if you can come up for a picture, and then after that, thank
Let
you
me have,
again
I'm
for
going to
being
make
here.
one comment before we
yep,
do
one
that.
comment
Just
before.
real quick, because she went first. Emerson, thank you for talking about the arts. And I just wanted to say to everyone, just a special thank you to our teachers and our staff people and community volunteers who bring your own expertise and passion for all of these areas. It really can be life-changing, and it's just an incredible opportunity, especially for kids who learn a passion for something that has maybe nothing to do with what they want to do for a career. And Natalie knows that I love to talk about this as often as possible, but I want to shout out Ms. Allen, because my son was in her jewelry class 10 years ago, and he made me these rings, and I have worn them every day since. So I love my rings from jewelry class.
Yes.
So
I love
thanks.
your rings from jewelry class, too.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so everyone.
Thank you for being here today. Yeah, JP, go. Heidi, come on. I will, yeah, we will. I'm gonna just steal excellent. Go on up, go on. You're up there. Go ahead. Come on. Be proud. Squeeze it in. Did she try? Wait, I will do something. Okay. No, good. Okay. It's not a gang sign. I love you. Sign language. As you leave, there's pizza on the way out. Please take it home. Thank you. Take pizza? Yes. Pizza in the boxes. Good job. Good job.
Oh, Jenny, we're almost done, I promise. We will cut it under 5 more minutes. John, how much is left on my timer? I was facetious there. Okay, so how much time do I have left? 3 minutes? A stole hand. Awesome. My heart is so happy. I hope that when you hear the kids and what they're doing in these programs, like it fills you with the joy. Because again, that's the reason why I even got into education. And so being able to help connect careers and that just makes me super happy. So we wanted to make sure we gave you data because I love data and I really like to look at data. And we've talked a little bit about data in my past presentation. So I only have 3 minutes, said Ashley stole hands. So I'm going to go over it kind of simply and quickly. You are always welcome to reach out for more data and more questions. I'm always happy to provide. We have a Future Readiness Center, which was the Career Center. And you heard students talk about today. We had 57 students attend Nursing Information from Franciscan as part of CTE month. So just a huge shout out to my staff, Heather and Kelly Jackson, for all of the work that they've done in coordinating every day except for Wednesdays. We have guest speakers happening in the Future Readiness Center for CTE month. And on Wednesdays, they are going into the middle schools and doing career exploration with all of the middle schools. And so they are heavily engaged. And I also want to point out that this is current live data on FAFSA completion. We've already exceeded our end of year data last year. That means that students are qualifying for funding that can go towards trades, apprenticeship, colleges after high school. And so the work that they are doing is phenomenal in the Future Readiness Center. I am blessed to be on a team with them. And this is all about kids and their families and ensuring that our students are set up with economic possibilities in their future. So one piece of data and huge shout out to that team. Super grateful for them and for what they do for kids. All right, this other piece of data, we also are measured in CTE off of SBA data in certain areas. And really in CTE, it's focused down on concentrators, which are identified as students who take 2 or more .0 credits in CTE. We know that 54% of our students use CTE pathways for graduation. So the SBA data is kind of challenging for us to actually make huge shifts in. So we really wanted to give you data that shows where our focuses are and the growth that we've made. In 3 out of our 4 indicators here, you can see that we've met or exceeded the state target. And in the one area where we have yet to meet the state target, which is in our non-trad concentrators, which is, for example, females in coding or males in nursing, we made a 20% growth in the last year. So we are actively working towards these targets because what these targets mean is we're providing access and opportunity for our students. Yeah, go ahead. These are OSPI state targets, yes. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm going to let Ashley come up because her next slides have more information about the specific targets you see up there, and then we'll come back for questions on that if that works for you guys.
So kind of when you think by the numbers and quantifying this data a little bit away from like a student test score, but to like what does it actually mean? You have an infographic here that talks about 54% of students using a CTE pathway to graduate. Students have to use a pathway in order to graduate, and we find that the majority of students do that through CTE classes. What makes CTE classes unique are things like post-secondary credits. These are college credits that they're earning in high school. An example of this is we see in our sports med classes that a student in that class earns 5 college credits while they're taking the class. So if you are in a personal trainer class, you are getting a personal trainer certification, you're getting 5 college credits, and you're getting your high school credit at the same time. So that's what post-secondary credits are. Credit equivalencies are this idea of credits that it's like a 2-for-1. And the idea that in jewelry, you also get an art credit, which is exciting. You'll see in our medical pathways, many of those classes have a credit equivalency to a science class. And then industry recognized certs is our last thing. And industry recognized certs are certifications that in the industry, outside of education, employers have said this has value. These are things like food handler permits. These are things like first aid and CPR. These are our forklift and flagger certifications in skilled trade. This is moving towards private pilot ground school and aviation. So by the numbers, if you go through this data is from 24-25. We won't have data from the current year until next year. But if you take a look at our dual credits, last year we offered 39 CTE classes that had an opportunity for students to earn college credit. In those classes, there were 659 college credit registrations. That equals $1.4 million in savings to families from last year. If you flip over the page, the next page is a little bit crazier. These are our industry certifications. And so what you'll see here is that we had last year about 2,800 industry certifications in the Peninsula School District that were earned by students. The figure at the bottom is the amount of savings to families. That's not the amount that we spend. So just to really clarify that to the whole world, we don't spend 21 million on certifications, but that is the estimated savings to families. And so how we get there is that, for example, using Sports Med Personal Trainer, it's built into the curriculum. If students had to go and pay for the class themselves and pay for the test, that would be the cost to the family. And so in that piece, one of the things in CTE that we're really trying to do is partner with the community and seek the good of the whole community. And when you think about preparing students for the workplace, when I think about the Peninsula School District, I think about kids like what we saw tonight. And I see this caliber of student and this caliber of staff member who are able to stand up and present and say, this is what I'm doing outside of the school, and this is what I'm passionate about. But there's an actual number that we can put to that. And in 24-25, it was $23.4 million of savings to families from student participation in CTE classes. And so when we look at all of the data, and we look at why is this growth important, and what difference does it make for the community, and what difference does it make for students, I think about each one of these students standing up here and saying, this is what I want to do, and coming out of the district, being able to say, these are the things that are on my resume as a result of it. But I would bring it back to this one point. Why does this matter? Kids.
CTE is the intersection of what you like and what you're good at. So CTE is career readiness. And going back to the CTE data question from you, David, all of those things that Ashley talked about, the industry recognized credentials, those certifications, what are the post-secondary credits that we're equipping students with, and work-based learning is actually when they can earn credit in the workplace. They can actually go out and work and get credit for doing that work as long as it's aligned with their high school and beyond plan. Those are what we're measured on from the state. Are there any other questions for us?
Go ahead. Turn your mic on.
You're missing a couple things. Music.
Yeah.
Why isn't music a career pathway?
You know, as a choir teacher,
Yeah.
I hear you and I feel that. And I think one of the things that what I appreciate about OSPI is the value and the advocacy that they put on those fine arts and ensuring that students who are passionate about that music program have access to those very specific things, which is also why we're inclusive of that audio video tech, why we've incorporated in drama and that. We also would need to go back to OSPI and say like, hey, can music be qualified in there? Which it's just not.
We were missing the skilled trades guys tonight.
Yeah. Many of our skills trades guys are represented under TSA. And then Skills USA is the other CTSO that wasn't able to make it here tonight and share out what they are doing. But they are our other CTSO. Our skills trade program did expand to be at Gig Harbor this year as well. So we've got our pre-apprenticeship program at Peninsula as well as a section out at Gig Harbor.
Okay, so we toured West Sound Tech last week. Are we limited to the number of students that can go there?
No, we are not limited to the number of students that can go there right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we only have 50 going there. I guess it's because of the distance.
It might be some of the distance, but again, we transport students there. And when you look at the program offerings, so we included that on the backside of one of them.
Yep,
What
I
I
see that.
appreciate is that students are actually taking just the classes that they can't necessarily take with us, except for the exception of 3D animation and gaming, which this year was only offered at Gig Harbor High School, and next year will be offered across the district.
Okay.
So, and that's 2 students.
Have we looked into the cost of setting up a welding area?
Yes.
And what is that?
Very expensive.
aviation is very expensive.
Actually, aviation was paid for in complete grants. We ended up spending about $182,000 on aviation, raised about $500,000 worth in grants last year to offset that cost and invest in other CTE programs. And then this year, we were granted a proviso from the state of about 69,000 or 70? 179,000 to cover the expenses of the aviation program.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying it's very expensive for welding, but I looked at some of the welding booths and stuff like that, and I know you can buy those also in components. A couple $100,000 for a component modular.
I think one of the pieces that we're missing in being able to support welding is the facilities to be able to support that. And it's really important for us to continue to invest in the facilities to ensure that student safety is at the priority when we expand to other programs.
Okay. Are we making any use out of the radio station?
Not at this time.
Go ahead. Yep.
Well, thank you for all you do. I mean, it's very impressive. And thank you so much for having the kids come and present, because that was awesome, having the kids. You can tell their passion, and they really enjoy it. I mean, I tell you, whether it's sports or this, I mean, this Peninsula School District knocks it out of the park on our clubs, whether it's athletics or this. I mean, when I was a commercial banker doing business banking and stuff like that not too long ago, I would travel. I'd go around the tide flats and go into manufacturing companies in the flats, and I'd be talking to my clients or prospective clients, and I'd be looking at the lathe or the welder or whatever it might be, and everyone had gray hair. And I'm just like, why do you have all these old guys working here? And they said, because there's no young guys that are trained to do it. And so, like, if you watch Mike Rose, Dirty Jobs or whatever, and there's millions and millions of unfilled trade jobs across the country, blue-collar jobs, plumbers and welders and pipe fitters and so forth, that they pay really good paying family wage jobs without the cost of a 4-year tuition. It makes it hard to pay back. When I was traveling the state 2 years ago, running for OSPI, I had an opportunity to talk to labor unions all over the state. And one of the things that they would tell me is that they were discouraged that school districts, not all, because I'm going to come back to this, that school districts were not doing enough to prepare their students for jobs in their local community in the trades. Whether it's, doesn't have to be welding or auto shop, but all the things you talked about, they would have liked to see more focus on preparing students for the CTE career pathways, not always a 4-year degree. And the thing that when someone that's passionate, like what you talked about, is if they don't have it locally, if we're not training them local, what's the need locally, they'll move away. And so what they were saying is that if we're providing those students, which we are, I'm proud of that we are, it will allow those kids those graduates to stay local and get jobs local, contribute to their local community, and not have to move away from their family and friends to find family wage jobs. So I'm just really proud of the work we're doing, and where we've come in the 13 years that I've been on the board and where we are today is just amazing, and I'm really proud. I wrote this question, and it may not be right. How often do we audit our CTE classes, if this is the right way to word it, to make sure that we're identifying obsolete classes and identifying future classes, like where are we headed 5-10 years down the road? How often do we do that?
That's a great question. So all of our CTE classes are on a 5-year approval cycle with OSPI. So we are required by OSPI to have a general advisory meeting and a vote that includes community and industry partners, as well as our teachers, and if parents and students want to join, on all of our classes. Part of that requirement is for me to create a skills gap assessment for every single course and say, what is the labor market showing for us? What is the future of that? And then having the dialogue and discussion around, are we offering the classes that are most closely aligned with that? Outside of that, annually, we have teachers meeting with industry partners to update their frameworks, which is kind of like their curriculum map, to ensure that they have those active engagements and communications around what is best practice still in the industry. A great example of this is our CCFE class last year, that we did a complete overhaul of what was included in the general financial literacy as well as the college and career planning. And this year we're going through a curriculum overhaul with the pre-apprenticeship skilled trade class, actually. We've aligned with the Core Plus curriculum, which is the state-approved investment in math, science, ELA credits for those construction trades, pre-apprenticeship programs. And our teachers are currently going through a pilot of that to be able to move towards adoption for at the end of this next year. So we're really trying to look at what are the current practices, how do we ensure that our teaching strategies align with that, and that we're including the rigor in that. We want to make sure that our students are actively going through that. So our process of adoption and reapproval is required at the 5-year, but every year we are going through that with advisors. And they actually come to small group advisories instead of just a large group advisory, which we found was kind of like a box checking step. And we want more authentic engagement and an opportunity to collaborate.
Yeah, one of the things the director at the West Sound Tech said was that depending on what the class is, it could be very expensive, and you have to have a certain number of students that would be willing to sign up regularly to offset the cost of implementing the program and then to sustain it.
Yep.
How do we, like if a student came to you, or maybe more than one, and said, hey, we'd really like to have this thing, how do you approach that? How do you cost that out to like whether it would make sense for our school district to do it?
Yeah, actually, this year we have a new platform called School Links. We implemented that last year, and School Links gives us live data on what students are showing in their career pathways. So right now, we've had about 92% of students complete their career cluster interest survey. That's included in it. And health sciences happens to be the very top of that, right? So we have that platform that starts to give us data on what kids are interested in. And then this year, specifically for registration, we are offering almost every single CTE class that you see on here across the district, which is inclusive of Henderson Bay, because one of the pieces that Ashley and I have realized in our processing is we don't really have a good fingertip touch on what do the kids want in that case, right? Like, we're getting their career interest surveys now. Okay, that's driving us towards some things. But what do they actually choose with their feet? And I think that what you brought up there is really, what is the section count? How do we financially manage and be able to determine what courses do we run? And the kids' feet are going to help us kind of see a bigger picture of that this year to be able to start guiding out. School Links also gives us future planning data. So when students submit their 4-year high school and beyond plan, they have to, in 8th grade, start saying, in the next 4 years, here's what I'm going to take. That's part of what OSPI says they have to do. That data now gives us some future planning opportunities to start looking at and saying, how many students are in what branch of healthcare? Like, is sports med really where we want to spend and invest in all of our money? Or are they really looking at nursing is underneath it as the second one, right? And actually number 5 is aviation, which is fantastic as well. So we utilize that data to kind of drive, and then we are looking at, when we look at specific programs, we're looking at what are our surrounding areas offering. We don't want to be in competition with West Sound Tech, right? We want to be able to offer things that are specific to our students and that are meeting the needs of the students.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, just to that same point, it's obviously important to look at how many jobs are there.
Yeah.
Like nursing versus sports medicine is a great example, because I'm more familiar with that. Kids that I watched, major in those things in college, and then the jobs that are actually available to them once they're out. And,
right.
But in another topic, this is just about CCFE, and maybe this is not your wheelhouse. I don't know.
That's us.
But excellent.
Oh, great.
One of those persons who works in a career making decent money, a young person from this district, has recently said, now I'm making this money, but I don't know anything at all about how to file my taxes or how to invest my money. And I wish I would have learned that back. And I'm thinking, well, hopefully it wasn't taught and they just didn't listen, which could be possible. But so that's always good to get feedback on. Hopefully that's something we are at least touching on, or we could if we're not?
It absolutely is part of the curriculum that's in there, and is part of the feedback. We reached out to families, parents, and students directly, as well as staff, when we were going through the piloting process last year. We're finishing up this last semester with choosing the actual financial education literacy supplement that goes with it, and then that will be kind of realigning all the teachers this upcoming year on what does it look like to implement it. Yeah, you're welcome.
So Core 24
Mhm.
requires the kids pretty much to be in a class all the time.
Yeah.
And if they're going to like West Sound Tech
Mhm.
for cosmetology or whatever, there's an hour drive over and an hour drive back.
Mhm.
Are they going to get enough credits to still graduate on time? How's that work?
Yeah, West Sound Tech actually offers more credits than we do in each of the times that the students are there.
Okay.
Just based on their skill center allotments, they can offer more credits per the hours because their frameworks are larger. So we've mirrored the aviation academy similar to that model, where we've split it into vertical, this is 6, into the academy, and then overlaid equivalencies. So we've heard students say, like, I'm taking sports med again for PE, right? We've laid over where those are so students can meet those graduation requirements and still be meeting those credit allotments. Yeah.
You have more, Chuck?
Good.
So, we talk a lot about traditional CTE classes, and I know this is really a passion of Chuck's. And so I love touring West Sound Tech. It's a cool facility. I agree. We don't want to compete. But my question is, when you're talking to students and doing the needs assessment, I know, you just spoke about that, the number of kids that we have in these programs, do you think this is a good reflection of those who are interested in it, or is the distance really a barrier for them? Are we providing kids
The distance to West Sound Tech a barrier?
So like 13 in the welding program, does that reflect really, the number of students that we think really want to get a welding cert? Or do you think we'd see a significant increase if we had facilities to support that? I know it's just like a guess, but I'm curious.
One of the things is we did look up some of the data in Schoolings to see, and right now in the district, with 92% of the students saying this is what I want to do, 37 across the district said welding was one of the things they wanted to go into.
Gotcha.
So when we're looking at the actual student data and saying how many sections would we be able to run and what does the investment look like, those are the data points that we're looking at with that.
Okay.
I can't speak to directly if, we haven't done a survey of West Sound Tech students to say, is transportation an issue?
Sure, okay.
So I don't want to speak into their words without having that actual
Yeah,
data.
sure. And I would guess for those who are there, it might not be. It's those who kind of don't want to be out of our school environment. And that's the other thing, not to compete maybe, but offer something, and you can still be on our campuses. So I think that's a conversation moving forward when we're looking at future facilities or what the needs for our community and the needs of our kids are in job market.
Yeah, he said that to have a sustainable welding program, you need to have 150 students. So that's quite a few. So,
Oh, okay. I missed that. That's a good metric.
I guess when I talk about welding, I talk about metal shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We do, if you're interested, at the end of the month, we do have some community members from welding coming and speaking to our students in the FRC. Heather's doing a great job of hosting them. So those are on our socials calendars. And in School Links, if you want to sign up for those events to come, you're welcome to come and see. We had a great conversation with them, and they're excited to be there to talk to kids.
So are we looking at other school districts' programs and what they have for core programs too? Like Central Kitsap has a pretty good facility up there where they have auto shop and everything. And what percentage of the kids are interested in that? I imagine would be very similar.
We have not, so we as CTE directors meet with all of the Pierce County CTE directors monthly and kind of look at programs and what is the need of our communities there. I don't dig a whole lot into comparison data on actual student enrollment versus other districts that are outside of Pierce County.
Thank you for.
You're welcome.
Thank you for.
This is phenomenal. Let's not like lose sight of what we heard and saw tonight. 28, almost 3,000 industry certs. So that
Yeah.
means kids are receiving multiple certs and leaving here with so much experience.
And our number, we are anticipating to at minimum double that. We were at about a 58% certification rate last year.
Wow.
So we know that has been one of our goals this year is to increase that number as well as the dual credit registrations.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I mean, earlier tonight, we were talking about things like innovation and access and student outcomes, and really, it's all about student engagement. I would be really curious, not in tonight's presentation, but classes that, like this, that students choose for themselves, what is their academic performance versus things that are just kind of the, like, ho-hum, I have to check this off, because I'm guessing this is where we see a significant amount of engagement. And then choosing to spend their time outside of school, continuing to learn and do that work. So
I'm happy to send you that data. We have that.
yeah, that would be great. I would love to see that. And this is, I mean, this just, and you know, Aviation Academy, I mean, that makes my heart so happy. This, I did the ask ChatGPT make a caricature of me and my life based on what you know about me, and it thinks I'm a pilot, which I am not, but I guess I talk about it quite a bit. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if there are any other questions.
Go Navy.
Yeah.
I just remember being on the board and there's people in the room that, staff that were here when I was first on the board.
Yeah.
And some of the board directors at the time, like STEM. And all, it's sort of like attorneys a long time ago. Everyone went to law school and then they had too many attorneys.
Sure.
And everyone's going to the STEM. And I remember at a couple board meetings driving the president at the time mad. I'm like, what about the military? What about the trades? What about the trades? And like, so I'm really happy to see how we've come along, that we're providing and we're thinking so broadly on all these additional pathways, not just STEM degrees, you know, so really happy to see it.
Yeah, great.
I would just like to thank all the instructors that came this evening and those that were either ill or could not make it. It really is when an adult is passionate and cares deeply about their whatever they are teaching, especially around CTE. And so that came through loud and clear by multiple students and how excited they are for their future.
Yeah.
And thank you both, and Heather in the back and all of your staff, because you guys really make a difference. You show up all the time and you are just really positive and very, very proud of this program. And it can only soar. I mean, it's just, Chuck, I hear you 100%. And looking forward to the future and what facilities could look like, and dream big. So thank you for that.
Just before we end, sorry, one more thing. I just want to, Mason is our CTE intern back there who is currently, he earns credit and is paid as an intern and is phenomenal. So if anybody is looking photography or videography, just like to shout him out. But this is like an example of the real life, like, okay, we have a need. So how do we fill it with the sponges and the amazing people that you saw tonight that are in front of us? So.
Can I just request a tour of the future readiness centers? I'm really curious about what happens there. So can we maybe schedule and drop in with you and kind of check it out? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it too.
About what? Right. That takes us to item 7 on the agenda, which is our consent agenda. Is there any discussion prior to the vote? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Lori and seconded by Chuck to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried, and the consent agenda has been approved. That takes us to our superintendent's report.
All right, this will be quick. What a great night. I just can't even thank you all enough for having the students here. The first day of the second semester was yesterday. I was just reflecting, aviation has only gone one semester, and you have 3 students there talking about their future. I mean, we should all have goosebumps. It has been a privilege to watch our students excel in the classroom, on the field, and in the arts during the first half of the year. We closed the semester with wonderful musical performances that highlighted the talents. Today I had I'm almost finished with reading to all of the elementary schools, but I had the opportunity to read at Purdy, and the book that I chose was What to Do with Ideas. And I was just reflecting this evening, that is the possibilities that our kids are talking about. And without planting that seed now, many of them would have no idea that they wanted to do that. And seeing them just articulate and how excited they all were, and the fact that we sponsor all these events for them to go all over the nation to compete, and that they're amazing. In fact, I mean, I was just thinking of the young man. He's like, I don't really know if we won first in drones or coding, but, yes, I got to go. And I thought, he's probably 12 or 13. I don't know. And how excited he was. Maybe he's 14 or 15. I apologize. Was he sixth grade? First grade. Yeah, so he's probably 13. That is amazing. So, sky is the limit. What? Sixth grade. So, February is Career and Technical Education Month, as we heard. Our CTE programs provide all the hands-on learning and all the activities. I'm not going to even read this. I'm not reading this one. This week is also National School Counseling Week, and it's a great opportunity to recognize and thank our amazing school counselors, our physical therapists, our school psychologists, our speech language pathologists, and occupational therapists for the critical role they play in supporting our student success and well-being every day. This February also marks the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. We honor the contributions of Black leaders and trailblazers and recommit to creating schools where every student feels seen, valued, and a strong sense of belonging. And I was so grateful that our students are partnering with each other from high school to middle school with our POC clubs and many other clubs as well. Finally, a reminder that ballots for our replacement educational programs and operations levy are due February 10th. So that is 1 week from today. If you have not voted, please be sure to return your ballot. And in the meantime, before we see each other again, happy Valentine's Day. So make sure, I'm looking at all of you, happy Valentine's Day, and have a wonderful winter break.
Okay, next up will be board discussions, starting with legislative reports. So
You want me to go first?
you can go first, and
Okay.
I'll follow up.
So Natalie and I are the legislative reps. I think we already talked at the last meeting about the ledge conference we went to. We're at the point in the session, we're halfway through the session, and there's literally hundreds of bills. And so the majority of the bills have moved into committee. There's some that have been pre-filed, so they haven't made it to committee yet. There's been a lot of back and forth, people going to Olympia to testify either pro or con on whatever certain bills are. Some of the bills that I absolutely was hoping would not make it out or make it to the floor were voted down, which I'm happy about that. Some of the ones that we're tracking, like House Bill 2290, if that fails, that's the one that they're trying to fix to exempt schools. That's the, unintended consequences from last year, where they were making the school districts pay retail and sales taxes, and that was an accident. They didn't realize that it would impact schools. So they have a new bill to fix that, so that school districts don't have to pay taxes on it. So, we've talked many times over the years about unfunded mandates, or they pass a bill without calling the experts, and then there's unintended consequences. So there's literally hundreds, there's over 100 bills in committee from the Senate, and almost as many. The counter bill, might be HB 2593 and then SB 20. There's counters to each, because they don't technically talk to each other until after they bring everything together to go into rules and everything. But so anyway, there's just so many that are being tracked. And I still, unless Natalie and Crescent found something different from their visit down last week, we don't see a whole lot of money coming in for special ed or transportation. But since you actually were down there talking to our legislators, you might have some insight that I wasn't aware of. But where we're at right now, there's so many bills that, as we know from the past, they'll only a fraction of them actually make it out of rules and get voted into law. But right now, it's just WASDA, and everyone's just tracking these bills and urging people to go on and vote con or pro, depending on what they are. So since you just went down there, I'll let you. I totally missed the day on the Hill. I've never missed one since I've been on the board. And Natalie said, "Hey, we missed you." I'm like, "For what?" I'm like, "Dang, I missed it." So first one. So I'm glad you got to go. So I'll leave that to you.
Sure. Not much to report, really. Superintendent Barr and I went down last week and we testified on an enrollment stability bill that really is for military-connected students, but it also benefits schools. It helps us stabilize enrollment so we aren't seeing mid-year transitions if kids have to move in and out of temporary housing. And then I went down again, like David said, for a day on the Hill, and I met with Senator Krishna Dawson and Representative Caldeer. And we talked just a lot about school priorities. And I don't think it's a surprise. Everybody knows schools are woefully underfunded. So I don't see a lot of money coming this way. There was one bill that's still alive that would address MSOCs. And I think for us, it's a potential of $900,000. I think what's on the table right now is $100 per student. So roughly, I haven't heard a lot of movement on that. I think the bill that would repeal the contract service sales tax has some legs, and so Ashley ran, I think, some rough numbers, and it's maybe around $700,000 that we would save. So it's not really more money, but it's savings, so we'll count that as money. We also met with Representative Keaton and Representative Berquist. They were talking about some other bills. There's another one that's out right now that has not moved out of committee, so it will likely die, but it would exempt school districts from paying utilities or give them a reduction on water, gas, and electric. So I'm sure that would be a huge savings. But really what we promoted was underfunding really in the areas of MSOCs. We meaning WASDA, WASA, and WASBO, I believe, have committed to signing in con for any bill that has an unfunded mandate. And there might be some that are great ideas, but our position has been like, time for great ideas is long gone. This is now time to fix the funding model, and then we can think about great ideas. But I've only seen one bill related to academics, math, and ELA, and it's really tied towards bonuses for teacher performance, which isn't a great model. I also just don't think that's going to go anywhere.
I sent testimony in on that,
Yeah.
and I said other, because there will be unintended consequences in terms of fees for us, and also we have committed to an ELA adoption, implementation, and professional development. And if that's not part of it, or if they choose if they force us to choose a different one, that would cost us. And so I think I sent that to you.
Yeah.
If not, okay, then I can include that in on Friday report. But that's what we were hearing from almost all of our other superintendents, that unless there's money attached, to do no harm.
Yeah.
Because anytime they are going to require that we do this, it will cost, because we have to have people that will both comply and then we have to ensure the system is accurate. So
It's like the Clean Schools Act.
correct.
One of the things that is really apparent is that looking at all the bills just that are focused on education, if you were to, since there's about 100, I'm just going to say 100, I would say 98 of them are not even remotely focused on student outcomes. So that's really unfortunate. And then last year at the LEDGE conference, the WASDA, it was a WASDA LEDGE conference. You know, they tried to make a bylaw change that would say that we would oppose any new bills from the state legislature that had unfunded mandates. And it was just, I think if it would have been a little more focused, it might have passed, but it was a little bit too broad and it failed. But that was at least a first-time effort from WASDA to try and push the legislature not to create bills that, or laws that are gonna have unintended, unfunded consequences, so.
Senator Christian Dawson and her staff are taking a look at the Clean Buildings Act, and I sent them over the contract that we signed at our last meeting, and they're just going to take a look and see what we can start. There's no legislation written to address that right now, but I think she'd be willing to spearhead that. And then just a little political, I don't know, drama, I guess we'd say. The Republican caucus has chosen to add a null and void clause into any bill that has an unfunded mandate. And then their counterparts are seemingly repealing that clause. So it's interesting that there are some groups that are focused on outcomes, some groups that are focused on funding, and how it's all going to come together, I guess we'll find out here in another week. I think the last bill, what is it called? The last day that you can introduce a new bill is on February.
When it goes to Sinda.
No, no new bills after February 9th.
There's still some pre-filled, when it starts to make it out of rules, right?
Yeah, okay, so we'll know better next week.
I don't know the exact verbiage, but they still have pre-filed bills that have to be heard, and if they don't get enough, they get too much pushback, they could just die on the floor and not go.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anything else legislative? Okay, I think that's it. So that'll just take us to board comments. Anyone care to jump in? Check. Thank you.
So I have a passion for career trades. Okay? It's the thing that kept me in school. And I still am the ADHD kid. I can't sit still. I got to be doing something. And so I took all the hands-on type classes I could. And it kept me interested. My boys went through Peninsula School District, and they were the same way. They needed to have dirty hands. They needed to be doing something. They took small engine repair, took auto shop, and every other class like that they could take in the clubs. My son Zach went to Bates, and the trip from here to Bates and back turned out to be detrimental. It was too much activity. When he was old enough to drive, he would drive, and little fender benders or whatever. And so it didn't work for him to go that distance to then come back and try to get back acclimated into the classes. That's one of my passions for having it here. When I first came on the board, one of the things in our consent agenda was selling off the last of the tools for the auto shop that had been shut down by the prior board, who was focused on sending everybody to college. And that's really what I heard from my boys whenever they met with the counselors, is that they wanted them to go to college, and they knew neither one of them were going to go to college. They were career trade kids. So that's a lot of my passion for having it here. My daughter, from an English, I was married to an English woman, so she grew up in England. They graduate high school at 16 years old, and then they have 2 years of public education that is career-oriented, and most of them do trades, or they do pre-college stuff, pre-med, pre-whatever, and that's a great program, I thought, because it allows them to then focus. Even if they had to go to a school that was Bates or something like that, that was their focus for 2 years. And that's what she did, cosmetology. And so it seems like we put a lot of focus on college, and that's less than half the kids. Even even those ones that go, what was the number the other day? 11% is all that actually wind up working in the career that they study in college. Yeah. The rest of them are all working out in the fields. When I was in the fire service, I had a couple guys with bachelor's degrees in economics and different things that were firefighters. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent going to college for something that really didn't equate to a job. So I guess that's my passion, and we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll bring it back because it's needed. I hear it in the community. I hear it from the kids. When I talk to the kids out there, they want auto shop, the boys. So let's give them what they need.
Don't have a lot. Don't want to keep everybody. I know Chuck was there. We did the sort of school carnival for the elementary schools out on the peninsula a couple weeks ago. Really fun there. They raised a lot of money, and it was great. The kids all had tickets to play various games. There was vendors. There were prizes, everything. So it was a really good time out there. Both my kids loved it. We were there, I don't know, probably 2.5, 3 hours. It was quite a long time. And then they're not here, but I wanted to shout out the students who not only took time out on a school night and here came and stood up in front of older than them people and talked, but you could feel the passion from all of them and what they're doing. I had no clue what I wanted to do when I was in high school, and hearing 16-year-olds talk about what they're going to go to college for and all that, I didn't know in college what I wanted to do. To Chuck's point, I was probably close to the 11%. But yeah, I mean, it's really awesome to see the courses that we offer, the certs, everything that people are doing. So it's really, really good to see that today. So thanks to the students.
Not really much to add. I think the Westtown Tech, the way it is now compared to the way it was when I used to tour it years ago, it's really come a long way. And that's why I sort of asked a little while ago, like, what are we doing to make sure we're preparing our CTE students for the future, not keeping them mired in something that might be 30, 40 years in the past. And so I'm glad that we're staying on top of that. And I'm glad to see the progress we made since, 2013 to now. In the years I've been on the board, it's really, really cool. So I'm proud of everything that we're doing in our school district. And then I used to watch A Bionic Man when I was a kid, and so tomorrow I'm having my shoulder replaced. So when I come back in a couple of weeks, I'll be part bionic. So I'm a little hopeful that he puts my arm on the right way, so it's not facing the opposite direction. But so I'll be getting my shoulder replaced tomorrow morning. So hopefully I won't be in too much pain when I come back in a couple of weeks. So thank you.
It was a great night tonight. Thank you to Kelsey, Ashley, and everybody who presented. And I have no report. It's my gift to you.
I'll keep mine short as well. I just wanted to briefly mention the Holocaust Remembrance Day that was celebrated at Kopachuk Middle School this year. I went and attended and heard their guest speaker, who is a Holocaust survivor. It is the most amazing, compelling story. And if you can imagine a room full of 12-year-olds who were absolutely silent, you could hear a pin drop for an hour and a half. We extended past the lunch period because no one wanted it to end. So it was an amazing story, but also something really important to remember, and I'm so glad that we have those opportunities for our kids. Our stories transcend. There was a story about how desperately his mother wanted him to. He was a young child during the Holocaust, and they took on secret identities so that she could put him in public school while they were in hiding. I mean, it was so important to his mother that he receive an education, that it just was so it was just amazing, and it makes you appreciate the schools and the security provided here and the friendships provided here, whether it's for our students or for our staff. I often think of the reason season lifetime. You know, people come into our lives for that, and this is such an amazing season for our kids and also for the staff who works here. And I know that we walk through some really challenging seasons together, and I appreciate those who are here to support and walk through some really wonderful seasons. So that's it. That's all I'll say tonight as well. Enjoy a wonderful midwinter break. We have that between now and our next meeting, so hopefully people are going to some warm, sunny places. Next meeting will be our study session. So again, that will be held at a middle school. This time it will be at Harbor Ridge Middle School, and we're going to be holding our time to meet with the community, or with the board, community and board, for discussion from 5 to 5:45, and then the study session will be at 6 to 8. And then our next regularly scheduled meeting will be here at Swiftwater on the 17th. I learned that from a teacher at work. Next regularly scheduled board meeting will be held March 17th at 6 o'clock p.m. here at Swiftwater. Also, just one last reminder that ballots are due on February 10th, so please remember to turn in the ballot for our levy renewal. And with that, we are adjourned.